What's up, guys? Welcome to Slasher Home Video. Today I'm kind of making my triumphant return just because I feel like I have to talk about Halloween Kills. This is a movie that seems like it's splitting the community right down the middle on loving it or hating it, and I'm on one extreme end of that, I feel like. I'll get to that later, but I'm sure like everybody else, my hype level to go see this movie was through the roof. We've been waiting for 3 years, and I didn't have a lot of expectations out of the movie. I mean, I didn't really like 2018 as much as I wanted to, but just going to a theater to see a Halloween movie was exciting as fuck for me. And so when I went and saw it and it met my expectations and exceeded them, I came home. I watched it again on Peacock that night. I watched it again 2 days later. I gave it a week, and the movie still exceeds my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. I get all the problems with it, the dialogue mainly, and some of the cameo acting. But for me, the most important thing was to nail Michael. And I feel like they went above and beyond nailing Michael in this movie. I mean, in my opinion, it's perfect. The mask work was ridiculous. Chris Nelson knocked that out of the park. The way they shot him and lit him was perfect. There wasn't a second on screen that he didn't look exactly the way he should look, which is something really no other movie has done in the franchise up to now. And even aside from that, you know, they showed us stuff that he's always done. People are saying that it's too gory and Michael's not that brutal. He's always been this brutal, in my opinion. We just didn't see it in the first one, and I don't think people like that. And I've even heard people calling this a Hatchet sequel or something, which is silly. But they showed us stuff that he's always done off screen in a way that made him scary to me again, which is unprecedented to make a slasher villain scary. And I mean, I just couldn't ask for more with a Michael movie, at least as far as Michael is concerned anyway. And the other thing I really loved about this movie was that this is Karen's movie, and I haven't heard anybody talking about that, but it is, and I really like that. I mean, I'm partial to Judy Greer anyway, and I'm probably the only person who thought that her character was really interesting in 2018, and I'm glad that they explored it more. And I haven't heard anybody mention this, but she's the only person with a character arc in the movie. Everything that happens in the movie feeds into her character arc and drives it forward. Tommy, Hawkins, the second escapee guy who kills himself, it's all for Karen's arc, and I love that because you see her go from a person who's hiding her trauma and lying to her family, and she's in denial. You know, she was talking about in the first one how the world's not full of evil, and she gets to a point where a crowd of her friends and neighbors are about to kill an innocent person, which will shatter her whole safety net. So she tries to save them and blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know if people are missing that or if they just don't like it, but I've actually heard people saying that there's no character development in this movie, and I think that's way off because I think we saw the full arc of Karen. As far as the problems, though, the dialogue, yeah, the dialogue's bad. The cameos, I feel like they're a little forced in, and a lot of the lines didn't hit. And the comedy, you know, the tonal shifts between like serious drama, gory kills, and then Big John and Little John. That's not going to bother me in the long run, though, because, I mean, the first movie had bad dialogue. The first movie had comedy. I mean, Annie gets wedged into a window, for Christ's sake. Linda says totally in every line of dialogue she has. I mean, there was comedy in the first one. There was extremely bad dialogue in the first one. But when you're going to watch a movie for the rest of your life, at least once a year, that stuff fades away as long as everything else is good. And I think everything else in the movie is good. It's got the suspense. It's got that elevated level of gore. It's got, all the flashback stuff is great. I didn't like how much they showed the guy who was supposed to be Loomis. I think they showed us a little too much of him and let us hear a little too much of him because the voice actor wasn't that great for as much as he had to say. He would start a sentence off really strong, and by the end of it, you kind of wince because they gave him too much dialogue. And they zoomed in on his face too much and let us see that it was makeup. If they'd kept it in that wide shot, I think it would have been awesome. Maybe have him say one or two things, really short sentences. And, Tommy being kind of a dislikable character didn't bother me because, again, like I said, I think that him, Hawkins, we weren't necessarily supposed to like them or get behind them. They were all there to drive Karen's story forward, I think, and it worked because I really enjoyed Karen's story. And I think it's a shame she's dead because she became my favorite character in the trilogy. I'm guessing the first one was Laurie's, this one was Karen's, and so ends will be Allison's story. I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. And at this point, I'm on board for it. If they can even come close to that same level of at least getting Michael right in ends, I'll probably enjoy it. This could easily become my favorite continuity string to watch. It was 1, 2, and H2O. And now, despite not being huge on 2018, I think it'll be the original 2018 and Kills, no matter how ends turns out. Kills was so good in my opinion that it could end there. And I'm happy with Michael not being able to be killed and the town just accepting that as a conclusion. I think I could live with that. And if ends is good, then that's just kind of a bonus. At the end of the day, I honestly think I have to give this a 9 out of 10. I know that's a ridiculous score, but I think the things that they didn't execute very well, like the dialogue and the overuse of cameos and stupid characters doing stupid things in the comedy, none of that bothers me. And I think with time, all the stuff you don't really like, you'll get used to it, you'll learn to accept it, you'll learn to laugh at it, just like you do with the stuff in the original Halloween and the stuff in all of the Halloween movies. Michael looks like shit in Part 5. Part 5 is a really bad movie, but people accept it and watch it every year. And Halloween Kills is so much better of a movie than 5. It's better than Resurrection. It's better than H2O. And so, yeah, I'm very high on the movie. I'm on the extreme end of loving the movie. But, I get why somebody would not be. If that's you, let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know. And if you like this video, like it, subscribe, and thanks for watching.